Today, we're going to tour the Knitting Loft, a yarn store in Toronto, Ontario. Hey everybody, it's the Knitting Professor. I'm here in Toronto at the Knitting Loft with Rebecca. Tell us about the highlights of your store that my viewers should be aware of.
Hi, welcome to the Knitting Loft. So we have this whole side over here is our hand-dyed section. We're very proud of this section. We've got a lot of really beautiful hand dyes. There's so much to look at. It's like absolute eye candy.
Right.
If we head over to this side here, we've got more of our what we call kind of our rustic section. So for people who like non-superwash yarns, we've got Knitting for Olive, which is always a popular one. Créa Deluxe is an organic option, which is really popular.
Nice.
Majo happens to be my current favorite yarn to be working with. And then we've got back here a whole bunch of other stuff. We've got Mominoki over there from Germany. We've got the whole back wall is Rowan. We are their flagship store in Canada.
Oh wow.
And we've got Durerum from France. We've got Marie Wallen from England. Isager from Denmark. We really love all these brands. And I haven't even shown you our lower level. So if you'd like, I can take you down there and I can.
We would love that. We'll get some more eye candy on the way.
I think that, actually, Samantha, you just made me think you're the cutest ever. That's the cutest thing I ever heard. I don't even really know the name. I'll just call him the end.
Lots of great models to be made with the yarns. We're probably going a little fast, but that's okay. So here's the lower level coming up.
So if you're ever here, and unless there's happen to be any signs saying that the section is closed, you can always just invite yourself down. You don't need to ask, and you can check out our lower level.
That's very hospitable.
And here we have our lovely Rauma Garn Phenol Wall. They come in a lot of beautiful colors. We're proud sellers of Sandnes Garn. We have lots of their yarns here, as well as down this aisle here. We've got more of our, I forgot to mention this, but we have our own house line. So anywhere you see this black ball band with our logo on it, that is our specially dyed for us line. We have some non-superwash and superwash versions. All are dyed in Canada.
Nice.
And so that's a really popular one. We've got Istex with the Lopi yarns at the back, for those of you who love a good Icelandic yarn.
So that's the Let Lopi?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have the Alafas Lopi too?
Yes, so we have the Alafas Lopi here, the Let Lopi here.
Okay.
This is the Fiala Lopi.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. We've got Einband, which is their lace weight.
Right.
And we've got their Plata Lopi, which is their unspun base.
Great. So how can, if someone's in Toronto, how can they find your store?
So
If they're like just a tourist, besides taking a cab.
I always tell people we're right near Yorkdale Shopping Centre. We're not far from the Wilson subway station, so the easiest way to get here is to take the subway up to Wilson, and we're a short walk away, or a bus ride if you prefer to take the bus. And we also, I wanted to mention that for anyone who isn't able to get here in person, we have a full email service where we can provide you with yarn recommendations, photos, color matching, anything like that. So don't feel like just because you live far away that we can't help you shop.
So if I post your website, everybody can find that.
Yes, yeah. So our email is hello@theknittingloft.ca. And I don't know if you want to add that. So you can always email us. We're happy to give you our full complimentary email support.
It sounds like a very welcoming email system. So is the rumor true that this is the best yarn store in Toronto?
I happen to think, I have to say I'm not one of the owners, but I've been here for over 5 years. I've traveled a lot and been to a lot of yarn stores around the world. I have yet to see a place quite like this. The selection and the stock is unmatched, as well as the friendly service. The people here I just love everyone who works here. Everyone has a helping hand to offer. And we just love to have new people. So if you've never been by, don't be shy. Come say hello. We'd be happy to have you.
Great. Well, I really appreciate your time. And I'm just going to take some more pictures of yarn on my way upstairs to pick out some more to purchase.
Yes, please do. And let me know if you need anything.
Thank you so much. I'm very tempted by this Alafas Lopi. I do like knitting with that very much. It knits up quickly into a great South Dakota worthy sweater. But the Plateau Lopi is also kind of tempting, especially this color. Wow. And just the range of colors and the way that they're displayed is so pleasing. You could almost design a sweater or a shawl just by standing and looking at these shelves. Oh, some of these colors are wild. I'm a big fan of bright colors. Look at that ultramarine. I've always thought it'd be nice to have a sweater in ultramarine. They've got some pretty nice stock yarns. All of this is Sandnes. So they have really good European brands, high quality knitting, the type of garment that's going to last a long time and be really satisfying to work with. Here's some nice stock yarn. If I'm not mistaken, it's made in Italy. And the Rauma, as you all remember, I knit a beautiful sweater out of that. So yeah, on a personal note, I do recommend this shop. I agree with Rebecca. The staff is friendly. When I asked if I could talk to her, she said right away, yes. And turned off the music and everything for me and gave us a quick tour. So I appreciate her time. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to film a little bit more yarn and check back with you all in just a second. So now we're going to just take a quick look at all these hand-dyed yarns. Just an incredible variety. Black Elephant is what we're looking at, and the house brand from the Knitting Loft. It's just a mouth-wateringly gorgeous selection of high-quality, largely locally produced yarn. Knitting is a very popular hobby in Toronto, so the resources are outstanding. I mean, you can see how full this store is of so many color options that it's almost mind-boggling. I mean, if I lived here, I think I would have a real problem. I already have a problem with my stash, so I'm being judicious here about what I take home with me. But on the other hand, having access to this quality of yarn is something that I just want to take advantage of. And yeah, you can see why this store has a fine reputation. I'm so drawn to these pinks, y'all. It's my favorite color. That and the turquoise. There's plenty of turquoise there, some La Bien-Aimée. Also, very high quality brand. You know, you're gonna pay for it, but you're gonna also be satisfied with what you get. I actually recognize a couple of the colors of stock yarn that I have out here 2 years ago. It's sort of like, you know, a bubblegum machine of yarn on steroids. And again, as Rebecca emphasized, you can order all of this online. So, you know, if there's a color that you need, they can set you up. And they do deliver internationally. And we're just going to kind of look at some more yarn. And we got some dolls up here. There's some knitters gathered here. More mouth-watering colors. This is Cara. I'm guessing maybe it's pronounced care. But we got some nice notions, some spindles, cord, needle, stitch holders. Nice variety of items. And then we're back in this section. I'm just gonna do some close-ups for you guys for like the Rowan, and here we've got Spin Cycle. Their selection of Spin Cycle is, it's got to be one of the best. I'm gonna guess that including any maybe older colors, they've probably got as good a selection as what you could find on the Spin Cycle website directly. This is Rochspatz. It's a lace weight, obviously with that name, from Germany. More beautiful sample garments knit up as examples. They've got pom-poms galore. Look at that. If you want to put a pom-pom on your hat, you have quite a selection. And here we're looking at Mominoki. Apparently it's a German merino. And then there's fin wool. Again, the color selection is hard to beat. There's some Crystal Seifert kits up on top here. Some incredible shawls, sweaters. Those are really tempting. I think it'd be very challenging to knit these up. But to be honest, I would have to ask where these kits would be available outside of Norway. I believe she's from Norway. Besides here, you know, just really, again, a mouth-watering assortment. And here you have the wall of Rowan with some beautiful bags up on top. Tons and tons of colors. You could just design a beautiful Fair Isle sweater with a complex color design. And De Rerum Natura, not familiar with that brand. I've only heard of it. I haven't tried it, but it does seem like it's pretty high quality. I'll give you all a little haul video at the end of this, but I'm basically going to pick up a little Lopi, some yarn for a scarf. I might look at the hand dyes, see if there's anything that I just want to take to remember Toronto by on this trip. I've had a good time at my conference, being with friends, and have met one of my YouTube subscribers, and we're going out to dinner tonight with her husband. I'm very excited about that, so I think it'd be nice to have a colorful skein just to remember this nice trip by. So here we have the Isair, and again, lots of colors to pick from, different weights, some sample garments, and there you go. So I've covered most of what's in the store, apart from some of the books, some of them over there, but I hope you've enjoyed this tour, and I'll check back with my haul a little later on. So now we come to the yarn haul portion of my video. Let's start with this. It's called Chelsea Luxe. It's a hand-dyed yarn. I love the cream and brown. I was really drawn to that. Vanilla Bean Latte is the name of the color. This yarn says refined local yarn, Red Bank, New Jersey, established in 2012. And it's 100% superwash merino. I was thinking about making a hat with this long mohair Luxe, and this is a German Swiss brand. It is made in Italy, 25 grams. So color is probably just, I don't know, I'm gonna call it cream, but in any case, I thought that it would go well with this together, would work to blend. It's gonna soften the brown in there. I thought that would make a really cute hat. And then I got 3 skeins of, it's called Loopy Mango Mohair So Soft, made for making. So this is super kid mohair with extra fine merino. The color in this is Legally Pink. Very fun. Made in Italy. So I got 1, 2. They were down to a nub on this, but I thought with these 3 skeins I could make a really fun scarf. The recommended needle size on this is between 9 and 13, so it's going to be really fluffy. I picked up a beautiful sock yarn, the Knitting Loft, their own brand. So this is called Stony Creek, is the name of the color, and I really like the speckles. I've always wanted speckled yarn, and I've often gotten yarn that was more like splotched as opposed to speckled, but this is their Knitting Loft brand, And the type of yarn is called Boots. I believe it's an 80-20 blend. 80% merino superwash, 20% nylon fingering weight. So I'll definitely knit some socks with that. Then the practical side of me took advantage of the availability of Let Lopi. So I have at home several skeins of Let Lopi. I'm going to say about maybe 10, but not enough of the different colors to add up to what I think would look good as a sweater. So I decided I would get 6 skeins of this cream. This Icelandic wool is priced very well for the quality that you get. It's a rustic yarn and made in Iceland, 100% wool, Icelandic wool. It is, I'm going to argue that it's a DK, maybe a light worsted, but if you have a different opinion, feel free to share that. So yeah, 6 skeins of this, which I will combine with the existing skeins that I have in some kind of a colorwork sweater. And then the last bit of yarn, I have this spin cycle. I recently made a hat with a kind of a mate of this particular yarn with mohair blended with it. This one I think will look really nice with, I have a teal mohair at home. And again, I could just make a hat. One of the Nualach from Zane hats, the 0815 hats. This is 100% American wool, superwash. The color is After Midnight. So those were the yarns that I picked up at the Knitting Loft. Nothing too radical, but I'm really drawn. I might start with this as far as a hat project. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I had a lovely time both at the Knitting Loft and all day long here in Toronto. So tomorrow is my last day, and looking forward to wrapping things up. Might go to the mall again. We don't have malls like that where I am from, so kind of like the vibe, because it's like a throwback to my childhood. That being said, malls, you know, they have their own sort of controversial history, so maybe one of these days we'll check into that. But I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you will consider shopping at the Knitting Loft, even if it's just online. They really are a full-service yarn store. If there's any critique I would have is that I didn't see any spinning supplies, I didn't see any fiber. So if that's an area that they want to expand into, they could, but they're pretty much of a specialty yarn store, and they do a really good job at that. So thanks for listening. There were probably a few moments when the sound was sort of, there were a lot of people in the store. There was a big gathering going on, and I had to kind of work around that, and I did not bring a portable mic, but really grateful to Rebecca for showing me around, even though she walked kind of fast. But it was fun to keep up with her and to get her perspective on the Knitting Loft. So y'all have a wonderful week. Take care. See you soon. Bye.